Hi guys, I'm Doritos, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my full custom tactics setup. I'll explain to you guys the importance of each tactic and how you guys can adjust to win more games. At the core of any set of custom tactics is of course the squad behind it. So I'll walk you through the sort of players you should have in your squad build to be able to be as versatile as possible. Starting with the goalkeeper, just go with somebody that you trust, somebody that's consistent for you. Goalkeepers are hit and miss. Don't take advice from anybody on them. Just go with whoever works for you. Have two fast, strong, lengthy centre-backs. The higher calibre, the better. If you are on a budget, though, I seriously recommend this team of the season, Schlotterbeck. He is absolutely superb for the price. You need two fast and very rounded wing-backs. And I say rounded because in some of these formations, they are going to be venturing forward a lot more, even on goal. So make sure they are really good in every department, including the shooting. You want a centre-mid pairing, one of which is a more big defensive player. And then next to them, you want a more box-to-box ball-playing style player. Outside of that, you then just want an attacking four that are pretty much players that you could switch into any of those sort of attacking positions, cam, striker, winger. You want these to be as versatile as possible. Versatility comes in the attackers in the shape of sort of better skill moves and weak foot, bags of pace. And it's always of an asset to have one of these four with some defensive capabilities. In my case, I've got Musiala. However, because he is a very high caliber card, you don't need him to be as high as 81 defending. Someone even like an Nkunku or a Saka. These sort of players are all sufficient enough. Just as a quick note, since editing this video, I've realised Modric and Marino were the opposite way round in the 5-4-1, the 5-2-2-1 and the 4-3-2-1. So just for frame of reference, if you're looking at what players to put where, just those two should be the other way round. Custom tactics. So we will start with a balanced tactic. So this is the tactic that we're going to be starting in, generally just sticking with unless we feel like we need to adapt in game. So as you can see here, my balanced formation is the 4-2-3-1 second variation. Now, I change this slot a lot because I do custom tactics videos for you guys. So I'm always trying different formations. And when I do have a lot of success with one, I make a video on it. I share it with you guys. And 9 times out of 10, it's always a balanced formation. I'm currently using the 4-2-3-1. However, something like the 4-3-2-1, a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, these are all viable, balanced formations. 4-4-2 as well. You know, there's lots of things here. Generally, any 4-back is seen as a balanced formation. But today, I'll take you through the 4-2-3-1 second variation. I haven't done a video on this one, but it is the next video to come. So keep your eyes peeled for this, where I'll be doing it in more depth, featuring the gameplay and such. Quick overview of the 4-2-3-1. Balanced, defensive width 30, depth 60, build-up play balanced, chance creation direct passing, width 60 to stretch the opponent out and create space in the middle, players in the box 6, corners and free kicks both on 1 because we don't want to get countered. Player instructions, striker is on stay central, can get into the box for cross, the left mid and right mid are on comeback on defence and get into the box for cross. Both of your centre mids are going to be on stay back while attacking cover centre, then both of your wing backs are going to be on stay back while attacking overlap. This formation and any formation that you set up in as your balanced formation, I would always recommend not committing any more than 5 players forward. In this formation, I have settled for 4, but because I've got the players in the box on 6, my 2 holding DMs generally do push up a little bit and support. But essentially, you want a formation that you're extremely comfortable with, you feel like you can win most games with. This needs to be your go-to, your bread and butter, something where you're not weak at the back, you're still able to create chances on the attack. This is what you should be using most of the time, unless you do feel the need to adjust. So you've got your balanced tactic. I've just shown you the 4-2-3-1 second variation. By all means, give that a try. As mentioned, I will go into more depth with that one tomorrow. However, at the moment, particularly in FIFA 23, the 5-back is very strong. And you're getting a lot of people playing 5-backs. And 5-back includes the likes of a 3-4-2-1 because they operate as a 5-back defensively. When you're playing this formation, particularly if it's a good player on the sticks, you'll probably struggle in a 4-back. So you need the option to match them and play in a 5-back as well, so that you're not getting outdone by the formation. And then you can just go toe-to-toe with them then, skill for skill, and the better man wins. So you really need a balanced 5-back setup as well. So not a defensive 5-back, a balanced 5-back. So this is just as balanced as the 4-2-3-1 I just showed you, except it's a 5-back. For this one, defensive style balanced, width 30, depth 72, build-up play balanced, chance creation, direct passing, width 40 because the formation's quite wide, so it's nice to tuck everyone in a bit. It makes the passing a little bit easier. Players in the box 6, corners and free kicks on 1 once again to avoid the counter attacks. So your striker stays central getting behind. Your wingers are on cut inside and get into the box to cross. This naturally allows the wing backs to overlap into those spaces that you've left isolated in the wide areas. Both of your centre mids on stay back cover centre, then both of your wing backs are on join the attack. What this formation does is because you've got essentially 5 attackers, when you have the wing back overlapping next to your winger, you create 2-on-1 scenarios with their wing back, and that's how you get in. It's also very effective for German crosses, which is why the 3-4-2-1 is so strong. However, with this one, it just kind of lends to a little bit more of a more balanced, slower build up. You don't really have to force anything so much with this formation like you do with the 3-4-2-1, and I personally find setting up in a 5-back and making the wing-backs offensive tends to defend a little bit better than a 3-back where you're telling people to come back. You've got your balanced formation, you've got your answer to a 5-back, which is a big thing in this game. So what are the other 2 formations? So, as you can see, I've got another 5-back set up here. Now, this is our ultra defensive. This is our, okay, there's 5 minutes left, we're 3-2 up, the guy we're playing is a really good player and we just want to see out those last 5 minutes without slipping up. This is where this tactic comes in. It doesn't have to be a 5-back, it's just a formation where it is defensively very strong, so you could do a 4-2-2 with the comeback instructions set up. It's whatever you feel comfortable defending in, but the reality of this one is you just need a really compact, narrow defence, numbers back. The reason I like the 5-4-1 is that you can set this up to be very defensive, but you've still got the ability to attack in it, which is why it's very, very effective. So to quickly run you through the tactics, we've got the defensive style unbalanced, width 25, depth 55. If you go any lower than 55, you tend to get pinned in your own box, and that works against you. So don't feel like the lower depth, the more defensive it is. It can actually work against you if you go too low. Build up play balance, chance creation, direct passing. Attacking width is 45. Players in the box is on 4, so we're a little bit more reserved here. Corners and free kicks, once again, is on 1. The instructions, so stay central, getting behind on your striker. They are your lone striker in this, so it's important you have someone pinning the defenders back. Your wingers are both on comeback on defence and cut inside. Again, that cut inside instruction allows those wing backs to overlap and occupy those wide spaces. Both of your centre mids are on balanced attack and cover centre. With a defensive tactic, because we've gone with a lower depth, less players in the box, I don't like to put everybody on stay back, because a little bit like the depth, you end up getting pinned back and then that works against you. So these are actually unbalanced for this setup. The wing backs are unbalanced as well, and they are on overlap. Now, this might, on face value, almost seem like there's less players on stay back than the 5-2-2-1, but the wing backs naturally retreat quicker because they're not enjoying the attack. The wingers on this one also come back, so whenever you've got a defender overlapping, you've always got a winger covering. So you've almost always got 5 at the back minimum with this. So it's defensively very strong, and with that 25 width, you're extremely compact at the back. Like 25 width with 5 players minimum back is extremely difficult to break down. Because even if you let someone go down the wing, they've got so much of a wall to break through once they try and work that into the box that it's just really tough. It's very overpowered in this game. As I mentioned, you don't need a 5-back. For your defensive tactic, this is just one that works for me. Feel free to try this one out. Do not play your games in this setup. It will just make for a very stale game. This is purely to just try and see out a game you pretty much already won. Last but not least is probably the most simplistic tactic, and yet it's the tactic I've had ever since this game come out. This one has never, ever left my custom tactics setup, and that is we're down and out. We're getting absolutely slapped. We need to get back in the game. There's 10 minutes left. We're 2-0 down. We resort to this. This is just throw everyone forward, kind of player instructions go out the window. This is just about throwing everyone in the opponent's box and trying to get some goals. So, defensive style, constant pressure. Defensive width is 35, depth is 72. Build-up play, balanced. Chance creation, direct passing. Attacking width, 45. Players in the box is on 7. Corners and the free kicks I do leave down again because I generally don't find upping these makes it more likely to score from a corner, so I just always leave these on 1 to prevent conceding a cheesy goal. For the player instructions, everyone at top just unbalanced, Everyone in the midfield is unbalanced except the centre mid, who is on cover centre. These two should actually be the other way around there. I've just realised always have your big man in the middle. For your left back and right back, these are also just unbalanced. The instructions really go out the window when you're just throwing people forward on constant press and you've got the players in the box right up. You just let the players play to their natural attacking AI and you're just trying to flood them essentially in the defence so that they're outnumbered and you're just nabbing some goals. Don't worry about making it more robotic with instructions. It really doesn't help. You're better off just playing high depth, constant press, getting the numbers up. You will just get back into games really easily with this kind of setup. Kind of the less you do with it, the better with this one. With a constant press tactic, it really doesn't matter too much what formation you're in, so long as you feel like you can get a lot of numbers forward. 4-2-4 is very common for a constant press tactic. I personally just don't get along with that formation. I don't like that kind of separation between the attack and midfield. I like to still be able to link players up. So 4-3-2-1 is great for that because you've got a three-man midfield and forwards that are more tucked in, so it's really easy to get quick passes going. Plus you've got the overlapping wing backs in a more narrow-based formation, so it's just great for flooding the attack. This is one that has worked for me ever since the game came out. This formation has literally never been adjusted since I've used it. So this one works for me, but by all means just throw the kitchen sink at your opponent in whichever way you see fit. To summarise, you've got your balanced formation. This is what you start and you use 80% of the time. You must have a balanced 5-back setup, or 3-back, because they operate as a 5, setup as well, because if someone's playing a 5-back, generally you're at a disadvantage, so you need to match them, especially if they're on an equal skill level to yourself. You then want a defensive 5-back, or at least just a very defensively orientated formation to see out a game in sort of the last 5 minutes or so. And then you need your balls to the walls, ultra attacking, just throw the kitchen sink at the opponent because they've gotten the better of you and we're trying to get back in the game. Constant press tactic again. Go with whatever formation you're comfortable with for this one. If you want to see more in-depth breakdowns of the formations and how you can specifically set them up to their full ability, then I have the 5-4-1 and the 5-2-2-1 already on the channel. I will link them in the description below. The 4-3-2-1 I don't have on the channel with the constant press tactics. It's extremely basic, so there's not really much to say about that one. And the 4-2-3-1 second variation, I'll have a video up on the channel tomorrow breaking this one down for you guys, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you did make it this far in the video, guys, as always, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.